Can I speak in Serbian? Because I feel like that the thing I'm gonna do is. Yeah, Bogdan.
There's a number of people watching our live stream and they don't know it.
All right. Yeah. So I didn't intend to discriminate anybody. It's just that I feel like I'm actually talking to the audience this time only, and you guys, most of you speak Serbian or a language which is similar enough. But okay. All right, so I've got a task to do a freestyle keynote. I don't have a presentation, as Vukashin said. No slides. The only thing I can tell you all is that whatever you've read online and in the books, all those theories about how to build a company, how to become successful, and so on, are actually pretty true. Even though, so I was surprised because I always feel like that people that are skillful to do something, they actually do something, and those that are not really skillful, they teach. That was my idea of everything. That's why I never went for a PhD, for example. I felt like I need to contribute to the world as an engineer in a practical way instead of writing books. However, whoever wrote all those books and presentations and sessions, and Jure was mentioning a lot of those things, was quite right. And I can tell it from my personal experience of a guy that, together with some friends, built a company starting with 3 people. Now we're 40 people, and we never took any investments, which is also maybe an important thing for you guys to know, that money doesn't solve all your problems. And I've experienced many of the facts everybody talks about, such as you really need to focus on the team. So if you have any friends that are smart and capable, try to bring them to the company early as possible. Also, try to bring people that whose qualities you know, and people that used to work with you or that survived some stressful situations together with you. Because then you'll know who you can count on, how much can you count on them, and so on. But I'll switch to the main idea of my keynote, obviously, and that is that even if you're from Belgrade or Niš or Novi Sad, Zagreb, Ljubljana, doesn't really matter. All of those cities and countries are, without trying to insult anybody, but we do not matter that much on the road map. If you go to US, to New York or San Francisco, nobody's going to know where Belgrade is. Probably they've never heard of Ljubljana. They've heard of Belgrade for some other things, unfortunately. But so we are sort of non-important, but that doesn't give us or takes us the opportunity to try and actually surprise everybody and win from Belgrade or Zagreb or Ljubljana or Bucharest, as Bogdan can also tell you. So how do you win from Belgrade? First of all, we have as a nation, unfortunately, and I think that also goes for all ex-Yugoslavia and Eastern Europe. We have a mentality of finding the reason why we failed. So whenever you fail, even before you fail, you start looking for a good reason why that happened. That way, you can sleep well at night, saying that, well, it wasn't my fault, but the internet died, or my computer died, or I lost all the data because something happened. Or I was misfortunate enough to be born in Belgrade, Serbia. Otherwise, with all my skills and talents, if I was born in San Francisco, I would already be Bill Gates. I strongly object to that. I do believe that all you need to do is focus. You need to look at challenges as opportunities, not as problems. So I'll give you one example. When I've quit Microsoft, my group PM, very senior guy, a millionaire with Microsoft stocks, he sort of loved me in a professional way, and and he told me, "What are you doing? Are you crazy? You're going back to Serbia from Copenhagen, Denmark, which is like the most, I don't know, it's happiest people live in Denmark and all sorts of things. And I was very rich in Denmark, great salary, all nice. He said, are you insane, you're going back to Serbia? Okay, so even if you want to start your own company, which is something that all people actually look positively at. But even if you want to quit Microsoft and start your own company, why don't you do it here in Copenhagen? I mean, you could get funding. I mean, I know a lot of people there as well, so we could get some money. We could start a company in Denmark and build it from there. And yet, our reason was different. So where everybody else saw a problem coming to Serbia and failing miserably in while not having where to bait and what to eat, which is how they see us. On the other hand, I felt like I'm going to find so many amazing engineers in Belgrade which are able to build technology that competes with anybody in the world, and not only competes, but beats anybody else. Why? Because, first of all, I won't be needing 100,000 euros yearly as a salary for an engineer. It's going to be less, and I can afford it more easily. On the other hand, if you do something in Copenhagen or Silicon Valley, then if you want to find an amazing guy or a girl to work with you on that, you'll have competition in whoever, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Zynga, I mean, you name it, Electronic Arts. And so we felt like actually Serbia was an opportunity because unfortunately here there were not many opportunities for talented people to express themselves and beat everybody else from the world. So that's one example. I've got tons of them, but I don't want to, I won't list them all. The point is be positive and always look for an opportunity in the challenge instead of a problem. And never, ever, ever blame somebody else for something not happening. I mean, sometimes in life things happen, they go wrongly. But still, it's up to you to try to overcome that shortage or a problem. One example of that is when we got the idea of what to build finally, which was a football game, we felt like competition was not really strong at that point when we started doing that. And we felt like, all right, so if we manage to build it first, to go live first, we're actually going to be able to relatively cheaply and easily acquire a lot of users and become an instant success. However, 2 months before we launched our product, Disney Interactive, which is a Walt Disney Company subsidiary developing computer games, acquired a small company called Playdom for roughly $500 million, so 500 million. And the first thing these guys do is they build a football game for Facebook. And by the time we launched our football game, they had, I think, 2 or 3 million users playing the game. Then, 2 days, or even more correctly, 1 day before we launched, Electronic Arts, which is a company most of you know by the slogan EA, it's in the game, that you see every time you want to play a good sports game on an Xbox or a PC. So these guys also acquire a company called Playfish for $400 million. And the first things they do together is FIFA Superstars, or a football game for Facebook. And 1 day later, we launch in a bit different setting when you look at the competition, right? So for 6 months, we have no users, and they together have 7 million. We could have quit. I could have said, we're unfortunate. I mean, the opportunity of our life passed away because we were unlucky to have EA as the biggest authority for sports games in the world, and Disney Interactive with unlimited resources and budget simply come to our markets and take all from us. But then we said, F them all. We're going to build a better game, better product. We're going to try really hard. And by the end of the year, we're going to be the most popular sports game in the world online. And guess what? Now Top 11 has more users than FIFA Superstars plus Disney's game plus all other sports game on Facebook together. So sorry for this total freestyle. I honestly had no idea what to talk about. Felt like this is a good thing. I wanted to also give you a bit more details about the award we received actually 2 days ago in London. So first of all, I'm still surprised we have won it. The reason to that is that honestly, it is the most important, not competition. It's not competition. You don't go there and pitch. So I didn't do anything. I just came to the ceremony and they called me up to get the award. So what they do is they actually select literally thousands of companies that are involved in high tech. And they split it in 20 categories, such as best gaming company, or best enterprise, or best mobile, or so there's 20 categories, including best venture capital fund, best angel investor, and so on. So it's 20 categories covering pretty much entire IT sector. And then they choose a winner in each category. For example, Angry Birds by Rovio, actually Rovio won the award for the European Hero, which is an award given to a European company that, I'll quote Mike Butcher, kicks ass around the world. So Angry Birds is at the moment the most recognized brand from Europe that's really popular in China, US, whenever. Everybody knows about it. So Rovio got one award for that, and we were really unbelievably lucky to actually win the best gaming startup award. And by startup, so it's tough to tell what is a startup. Their rule was that the company had to be 2 or 2.5 years old in order to be in the competition, and they apply automatically, and a jury made of industry experts actually revisits every single company, and then they vote, and then you know the result. And honestly, I'm still surprised it was us, given the competition, but hell yeah. So we managed from Belgrade to be the best gaming young company in Europe. And by gaming, I don't only mean social games and Facebook, because a lot of people who haven't had a chance to work with Nordius think that social games and Facebook, that's something stupid and easy. While on the other hand, Playdom is bought for $500 million and PopCap is bought for 1.1 billion. So I would disagree. But anyways, if you haven't been doing that, you feel like it's not really real games. It's those stupid, simple games for Facebook, and real games are for Xbox and PC and so on. So guess what? The category we won was Best Gaming Company, and our competitors were building games for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, mobile, you name it, and still we managed to win as the best gaming company overall. All right, so now you know more about it. I really had to tell this because I don't get the opportunity to express myself this way. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, guys, it's really unbelievable what we have done in such a short time, and I really hope that's why. So I came here today not to ask any questions, not to do a keynote. I just wanted to support the event by sitting quietly in the audience. Then the guy from Vienna couldn't make it, so I got his task to do a keynote. But anyway, I really feel, and I know it, that we are not less capable than anybody else in the world. We are also, well, first of all, human beings with brains, and it doesn't matter if you're in Japan, China, Alaska, or Serbia, or Croatia, Slovenia. Your capabilities are the same. It's only about your attitude in life and seizing the opportunity, making the difference whether you're going to make it or not. And the last thing, before you go to sleep, is I would strongly recommend all young people in the audience who do not have kids yet to actually try something new in their lives when it comes to professional challenge. So don't be afraid to risk, because honestly, you're not risking anything. So if you're young and smart and you tried hard in the university and actually you learned something along the way in life and school, there will be a lot of jobs for you whenever in the future in the industry you're experts in. So that's not the question. The question is whether in 10 years from now you're going to look back and say, like in my case, all right, so I've been working for Microsoft 10 years, I got a nice salary, I've got 3 kids at home and a wife, and I feel like I haven't really maximized my potential. Let's say I played a common role in life without trying to achieve something extraordinary. And by extraordinary, it doesn't necessarily need to mean like starting up a company. It can be something else, whatever sounds good to you guys. Without doing too much PR for us, but I mean, even if you join a startup, not as a founder, but as an employee early on, believe me, as time goes by and things go well, you're gonna start feeling that you have the ownership of the company as well, and that it is your contribution that has driven the success. And believe it or not, it is actually always awarded later on by the guys that started the company. So I've never heard of an example where somebody joined at the beginning, and then after 3, 4, 5, 10 years, he wasn't asked about any opinion, or he wasn't awarded very nicely when the company was sold or whatever. So you don't necessarily have to start a company if you don't have the resources or friends to do it with. You can also join a small company and become a part of it early on. And then even if things fail, you can always go and work for Microsoft, Apple, whatever, because they will be always hiring people. And on the other hand, you'll miss the chance to change something in your life and in the life of the entire world in a way by not contributing the best you can. I'm done. Good night.